seem to have misplaced the Dragon PME logo thing. So just for now, I'm gonna do it now. So yeah. Final Cut Pro tutorial by Dragon PME. That was me doing the sounds. Okay, right. And action. Hello and welcome to a Final Cut Pro tutorial. So again, I want to apologize for anybody looking to see how to use a Macintosh. I'm actually going to be not using the operating system, but just using Final Cut Pro. This is the first tutorial where I've used my Mac Pro. So you'll notice straight away that I actually have a second screen over here. Woohoo! That's a second desktop because I have two screens now. So this is the left hand side screen. So if I just go to the desktop, there's where all my icons are, and on the right hand side is Windows XP. There if I need to use it. I doubt I'll be using it in any of my tutorials, but it's there if I need to. But yeah. So I'm just going to show you Final Cut Pro for the moment. Most of you have probably seen this logo. In fact, I will play it for you now. It's on YouTube, so here it goes. It might be a bit laggy because of first time playing, but it shouldn't be. Basically, it's a S that goes, but I've added this bit to the end, the shatter in After Effects. Okay, so I'd just like to show you how I compose this, basically, because the only way to learn is to be shown. Okay, many of you have probably worked with Photoshop. If you've noticed, I am actually keeping all my icons open. Now I'm on Mac Pro. From the Mac Mini, this is such an amazing piece of equipment because I feel I could do more stuff and I could keep things open and all that crap rather than closing programs down to do the screen capture to compensate for. Anyway, I'm just talking rubbish now. Anyway, many of you have probably used Photoshop, as I was saying, and most editing systems, especially Final Cut Pro, works in the same concept of layers. So I've got my top layer, my other layers, etc. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers all together. Obviously the ones on the bottom can be covered by the ones on the top. I'll show you an example. If I take CLS font, I can't remember what it looks like here. So we have this, and we can cover it up with this. No, wait. Whoops, it easy. See, I can't even use the program myself with that. So therefore, whatever's on the top will go on the top, and whatever's on the bottom will stay on the bottom. Obviously, because I've got imported a PNG file with transparency, there's no white or anything, so I can manipulate this in any way I want. Make it bigger, make it smaller, rotate it like so, and the transparency will show through. This is quite a nice effect. So how did I make this? I'll have to quickly speed through because I've only got 10 minutes. Okay, so I've got my white on the bottom. This is my base, and I have actually used an effect called letterboxing, I think. Yes, I have, to make it like, so I've got, see up here, this black for a very cinematic feel. Ooh, I like it. And through After Effects, I've created masks and stuff to make this kind of S appear like it's coming from nowhere, in fact. And in fact, I've got two. You see this bottom one, I've actually taken down the transparency. If we enable this little button thing, we'll see these black lines appear. These are actually the opacity bars. So for example, if I put this up, we'll see in our video this has gone further up, and if we put just Apple undo, Apple undo, the transparency there to give kind of a reflective feel. That's what it's for. So that's why I've got two layers, and the third one for the white behind. So if I take that away, you'll see everything's just black. Whoa, that's not good. Apple Z again. So lower third has been text. This is kind of like building up, like kind of a building, a structure, and all these is the media files. That's what editing is all about, taking your building blocks and making something from it, something that makes sense and something good, something that'll look good, I hope. Most of this media is coming from After Effects, to be honest, that I've made myself from scratch. Editing's usually done around footage that's shot on a camera, and these could be imported using the log and capture, which I should hopefully be able to show you in the future. And also, not forgetting audio. Audio is built on the bottom. So if you see this bar here, it's kind of like the center point, the point of equilibrium. Ooh, that's a posh word. Didn't even use it right, probably. But anyway, from here you can build upwards, and the same with sound. Just lay your sound on top and underneath and move it about like this. Yeah. So I'll just tell you a nice style I like to use is to shove on this little button so you can see all the bars, and you can see I'm actually using the pen tool here, P on the keyboard, or click the pen tool to like manipulate this line in any way. To obviously I've created a fade here by going from full opacity 100% to 0 opacity. So if I just play this now in the window, you should see it's just a nice fade, nice steady fade. Or you could go to the very end. I think you should be able to. I'm still in pen tool. That's a problem that I should try and get out your head, that I've got in. It's like kind of a habit. Get out of the pen tool by pressing A, which is this one here. Oh, what's it called? Selection tool. So use that all the time, and you can like right click or control click if you only got a single click mouse, and use transition if you want like a dissolve. You know what I mean? I can't really show you because it's a 0% opacity at the moment. So yeah, manipulation of this line is what I would recommend you to do. So just play around with whatever in Photoshop. That's how you start your footage, putting footage on top of each other. Make sure that if you do want things to appear on top and give a transparent feel, like this PNG file, make sure that it actually has transparency. See, this PNG file is actually just a still image, like just one frame if you must, but it lasts for whatever frames, because that's what Final Cut Pro does. But if you find that whatever you're putting on top doesn't have this transparency, make sure you've got like the alpha channel, which I'm going to try and explain in the future. You need the alpha channel so it knows what's red, what's blue, what's green, and what's not. That's the alpha bit. Kind of. That's alpha in a nutshell, but I probably did it all wrong anyway. So that was a quick crash course on how you construct your footage and construct your editing. Hopefully you've learned something, and I'm sorry it hasn't been very long or very challenging. I'm just trying to get a flow here of how to do Final Cut Pro tutorials, because to be honest, it is quite difficult to understand what I'm meant to be doing in Final Cut, because there's so much to do. I can't really show you it all in one go. So hopefully you've learned something. I'm sorry if I've nattered on a little bit too much, and I'm sorry if I've wasted your time, because you already know all this basic stuff. But anybody thinking about using Final Cut Pro rather than Avid, for example, you'll notice that I can just drag and drop things all over the place, creating new tracks all the time, new layers, etc. That's something that you can't do in Avid. In Avid, I find that you've got to like use the keyboard a lot. I'm actually using the mouse quite a bit. It's very keyboard based, Avid, I think. So that's kind of the difference, the main difference between Final Cut and Avid. So hopefully you've learned something. Thank you very much for watching, and I do apologize if you haven't learned anything, but that's life, I suppose. I'm sorry again for putting that ironing board video up. If you're a subscriber and you got an email saying, oh, Dragon PME is good, but yes, I'm going to watch a tutorial. No, wait, it's somebody being hit over the head with an iron board. I do apologize for spamming the internet, but to be honest, I thought it was funny and I just had to share it. There won't be many more of them. In fact, there won't be any more of them in the future. Well, there might be. I can't really see there won't be. Anyway, right, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time if you can be bothered on Dragon PME tutorials. Bye bye.